All right. Hi, my name is Marco Velez, and this is my persuasive speech for Communications 115, speaking about supporting ride sharing and the driverless car initiative. Just for starters, going over the numbers, you have, as commuters, we spend 1.8 trillion minutes in the car commuting to and from work every year. So that's just time that's just wasted in the vehicle. Next subject we got is car accidents are the #1 cause of death of people under the age of 24, and that's per the Center for Disease Control, which monitors all types of deaths within the United States. And lastly, we have vehicles. Personally owned vehicles sit unused about 94% of the time that they are owned. So just for also going in how important transportation is, it's very important because we all use it and we certainly all need it. I myself, I don't own a vehicle right now, so I rely on Uber and public transportation to get around. I've driven about 20 years of my life, and I've accumulated quite a few. I've accumulated about a few parking tickets, my share of moving violations, and I've been in a couple of auto accidents as well. But with that experience, that just goes into the research that I've done for the topic. So today, just a quick overview. We're going to go into the cost of owning a vehicle, certain safety issues, and the impacts on the environment. So first, we'll talk about the money and the cost of owning a vehicle. So as a driver, as an operator of a vehicle, you have costs that are included in when you're operating said vehicle. So we're talking about the all the regular costs, which is the cost to purchase a car, whatever the sticker price is, your sales tax, any additional fees, and then you move into maintenance. So you're talking about your tires, engines, oil changes, and your fuel. And then, one of the big costs, if anybody's ever had to, I'm sure they've had to pay for a whole transmission to be replaced, and that'll cost you anywhere between $1,000 to even more. So also with that, you got your governmental expenses, your vehicle registration, your vehicle insurance, and of course, whatever emissions tests, and that's per whatever state law you have to adhere to. So when you're talking about, I'm going to go into safety. So we talked about the cost of ownership, and now let's consider when you're driving the vehicle, the safety aspects. So as we know, most accidents are caused by human error, and you can, in the factors involved, it could be driving while you're distracted. Your age could play a factor. And you're also talking about careless driving, drunk driving, speeding, emotional issues, which leads to road rage. And a big thing about driving while distracted is it's a huge issue while you're commuting. We try to accomplish as much as possible when we're driving, and when you're talking about a driverless car, you're talking about these issues that'll essentially be resolved. Driverless cars can help with that the type of technology that's coming around the corner. Driverless cars can help you with or relieve you of the burden of worrying about texting while driving, picking up a phone call, eating, all those things, or putting on your makeup, and all that stuff. You do it on a regular commute to work. So all this type of technology, as far as the driverless car, is coming right around the corner, and so you can not worry about taking care of those little things while you're driving a 3,000 pound machine. So the next topic is, of course, careless driving, which is involved with safety. Careless driving is a major issue when operating a motor vehicle. If you remove the human side of which can seriously impact your situational awareness, you can reduce the number of potential accidents on the road. And when you're using ride-sharing services, you can help with the reduction of motor vehicles on the road, which also reduces the number of accidents every day. Weather is also a huge factor when it comes to safety and safe driving. Bad weather plus a poorly maintained vehicle can usually equal to accidents that could have been avoided. So if you when you're using a ride-sharing service, or when you're using a ride-sharing service to split the cost for the vehicle, you can actually spend the money you need to make sure your vehicle is safe to operate on the road. So we talked about safety. Now let's consider the environmental impact. The environmental impact of driving. So we're talking about modern day carpooling, how that can help. Partnerships between public transportation and ride-sharing services. So, I mean, overall, this means with less cars on the road means less emissions. Carpooling and Uber pool. So there's public services that are available right now in your community, and you can look it up online that can help you. And well, what they do is they help commuters find different ways to get to and from where they're going. For example, in Denver, we have a program called waytogo.org, which is a program that was developed by the Department of Transportation and also local public services to help commuters find a ride. Carpooling and Uber pooling. Moving on to the next subject is Uber pool. It's an option that lets you share the ride. In other words, it helps you share the cost of owning your vehicle. By that I mean, instead of picking up somebody, Uber is used as like a taxi service to shuttle to and from. But with Uber pooling, you can actually pick somebody up, which they've developed an algorithm that helps save a little bit, or not save it. It only adds a little bit of time to your commute, and with that, you can help split the cost of the vehicle, or add. I'm gonna have to do this all over again. Uber pool pairs you up with other individuals nearby, only adding a few minutes to your commute, therefore reducing the number of vehicles on the road. When you reduce the number of cars on the road, you pave the way for companies and the government to help with the increase of using more renewable resources to help with modern day transportation. So we've talked about the cost, safety, and the environment. Now let's consider the overall picture. You're probably asking yourself, why should I worry about a driverless vehicle or ride sharing if that's something that's coming along in the future? And I also have my own vehicle to worry about right now. When you calculate the overall cost to you and how much time and effort you spend into your daily commute, you can see the benefits of this movement and how it can actually help you save time and money. Something else to consider, of course, are the safety issues. And that comes along with the distracted driving. And so why worry about eating, texting, taking a phone call, or while you're driving? You know, you can do all this stuff comfortably from the inside a driverless car with not having to worry about driving or being distracted by the road. So while with these innovations, the commute to work or home will become more pleasurable, and in the end, you can't help but notice that the less vehicles that are on the road will reduce traffic and also the any impact on the environment. Well, thanks you very much for listening, and hope you have a great night. Oh boy, that was